Dragon Trail Seaside reverse them for the Elite one, guys. Dixon stuck it on pole in the Subaru. It's a bit of a Saturday boy, as they call George Russell. He always gets a good result in qualifying, and away we go for the very short run down to the first hairpin then. So main prime overtaking opportunity on the track. Everyone seems to make it through there alive. The main characteristic of this circuit, as anyone that has ever played this game will know, is the chicane of death. This time we're only taking it backwards. It's actually not as deadly backwards. You'd think it's quite the opposite. About to see a little bit of netcode / glag though for fat kids, and you might see that a few times during the race. It's just the fact that he might have a bit of a dodgy internet connection, slapping his quality away. Hardest corner on the track is actually this one, which is the sweeping left-hander. Kind of reminds you of Surtees from Brands Hatch in a way that it tightens up towards the exit, but it's very hard to get right. Then you have these downhill sweeping S's. Then very important to get these right, as the tyre wear ebbs through as well. The line you take will be different. The way you handle the car will be slightly different as well. And then being ever so careful not to run it too wide on the exit, because a wall looms there, and you don't want to be in that. As I'm looking up to the inside of Maniaf to see if I can get that P9 off him. Do manage to make that move happen then on the Samsung driver, and up I go into P9. I can't seem to hook these Subarus up for love nor money, especially not when it comes to one lap pace. So I never do well in qualifying in these, so it's always a very tough race. And everyone is making it through. Get quite a long straight here as well at Dragon Trail, so down to that hairpin where a lot of the overtaking should be done today. Smart Kids are looking up the inside of Dixon. Dixon's squeezing him as much as he possibly can, then hips back over to the racing line. Fat Kids out later on the brakes. Dixon might go for the cut back here, a little bit of contact at the apex. And they both managed to make it through okay. Are they going to go side by side through the chicane of death? One of them's going to have to back out. Looks like Dixon may have backed out there. Yeah, he has. And that's Fat Kids up into the lead of the race. Dixon second, Roger up third, with Matt Elwood in P4, doing very well in the championship as Matt. GT Raffo holding P5, my PlayStation teammate, with P Gibb in 6th, Macreeda in 7th, then a little bit of the way back is myself in 8th. I've just got past Maniaf, and Mutt's got past him as well by the looks of things. You've got Maniaf there with Audi Ferry in P11, and Diablo, who is quite vocal about his dislike of the Subarus, all the way down at the back. If he finishes like that, it will give him a very good start for the next race. This lag that we're getting from Fat Kid, it was happening for both races, and it'll come into play next race, so keep an eye out for that. Watch for the next video at Sardegna. It does come into play. Really hard to race with a car closely when they've got lag. In fact, it's nigh on impossible. So I'm starting to pull away a little bit from Mutt. Starting to see if I can get anything on P Gibb and Macreeda. Now these guys have just swapped places. Macreeda's up to 6th. They'll equally want to start reeling in. Oh, Dixon's off. What's happened to Dixon? Has he just overcooked it coming out? Oh, he's just got a little bit too much curb, and that's dropped the Red Bull then into the gravel. So Dixon might actually get he's going to get overtaken by me. Yeah, he might just survive Mutt though, although he's going to have a really slow run up the main straight. As we see Raffo up ahead, going for a move there on Matt Elwood. He's going to have to go around the outside, and yeah, nothing doing. What's happening with Dixon then? Where is he? Dixon is in 11th place. His teammate Audi Ferry actually gets past it. Well, I say his teammate. Obviously, you'll see the gamer tags. They're in the same esports team. Maniaf and Mutt are going to go side by side. One of them is going to have to back out of here. Neither of them want to, because Dixon could probably just try and sneak through if someone does back out, but they do revert back to single file, and Maniaf survives in ninth for the time being. He can carry on trying to catch Mutt. The problem is he's got Dixon, who is very fast around here. He had really good pace for the entire race evening, basically, Dixon. So the fact that he's down in 10th at the minute, I would expect to see that change. Of course, a lot of this is going to be down to the pit strategy as well. We've got Fat Kids leading the way, Robust Hoods in second, top two both on the super soft tyres, so all but committing to the pit stop strategies, having to pit. Matt Elwood, Raffo, McCreeder, to a degree P-Gib, myself, anyone basically running the soft tyre can probably stretch us no stop out. A lot of hard work though. Mutt is committing to that, going on the medium tyre. He's becoming the leader of a bit of a train now, with Maniaf, Dixon, Audi Ferry and Diablo involved in it. So Mutt running the medium tyre is going to be a little bit slower, but less tyre wear on that medium tyre. And in theory that should make it to the end of the race without complaints. See Diablo skating over the curb. Mutt being on mediums is helping me out. It means I can start to escape a little bit now and just try and reel in the drivers ahead, who we're all doing similar lap times, so it wasn't really happening. Oh, as we go, Dixon down the inside of Mutt. Dixon might have lined this one up. Yeah, he did. Might have lined this one up earlier coming out of the chicane. Let's just jump on board Audi Ferry, who got a great view of this from the back. Audi Ferry does give Maniaf a little bit of a tap, but sportingly waits up and doesn't take that position from Maniaf, and allows the Irishman just to carry on ahead of him. Contacts will invariably happen as long as it's sportsmanlike in the way that it's resolved, and no one really minds too much. Awful noise then somewhere, as Dixon's now going to get on the hunt for me. So Dixon again, who is on the more aggressive sort of tyre strategy, will start to reel me in. P-Gib and Raffo starting to... So what's happened here then? McCreeder's got his way up somewhere. Oh, there's a big move here. Let's have a look at P-Gib actually. He got a good view at this, P-Gib in 6th. Also McCreeder slides up the inside. So a car goes deep. That was Matt Elwood that went deep. McCreeder, ever the opportunist, pops up inside Raffo. Although whether he gets a move made on Matt Elwood for P3. The top two are bolted. So Fat Kids and Robust, and you just see Robust Hood there. They've started to bolt away a little bit. Fat Kids especially has got an almighty lead now. Matt Elwood survives the onslaught then, but McCreeder up to P4, sorry. Oh, GT Raffo just playing with the limits of the Subaru then, just getting on the grass. That's going to let P-Gib up to 6th, then it's myself in 7th, Dixon 8th, Mutt just ahead of Audi Ferry. Audi Ferry is now starting to wind it up a little bit. He hasn't got past Maniaf, you remember their contact a lap or so ago. The Hungarian is now past the Irishman and the Australian, pretending the grid was upside down as his country is and being right at the back. Someone with not little to nothing to worry about at this minute is Fat Kids. Is clean away at the front of the grid. No issues at all for Fat Kids. Then you got Robust Hood, Matt Elwood, third, McCreeder. So a little bit of gap between these guys. Then you have got GT Raffo and P-Gib battling away. Then it's Dixon on me. This was a good overtake by Dixon. I got a really bad run out of the chicane. Dixon got a great run out of the chicane. I just got a little bit too much curve on the entry. Dixon gets past me on the straight. Then defends it, so that's going to slow him down. Oh wait, no, I go for the move back down the inside. Dixon goes for the cutback. I go a little bit deep. Nice cutback there from Dixon to get up to P8. But again, this isn't bad news for me. I can use his slipstream to get me up to the guys ahead. So I know he is faster than me at this point in the race, so I wasn't fighting that too much. I know I said that after it looks like I just went back for a lunge on him, but That was almost unexpected. P-Gib took a very inventive line through there. That's going to give Raffo a little bit of an incentive to dive up the inside, and indeed he does. Up the inside he goes, and that's P-Gib down to 6th. Dixon can carry on trying to get hold of him. You can see we have started building a gap now, so the top 8 start pulling the gap on these bottom 4. We're having a little battle then. It's Mutt, Audi, Ferry, Maniaf and Diablo all in contention here in these lower 4 positions. We are 8.5 minutes in, so we're not really near any pit stops yet, unless anyone's going for a really mental, aggressive undercut strategy, which I wouldn't imagine will really work at this stage. No one's really close enough. If I were looking to get Dixon, I'd probably think about pulling the trigger, but it's just far too early, only 5 laps in. Your tyres aren't anywhere near degraded enough yet for that to work. So we shouldn't expect to see any pit stops, despite the fact that a number of cars are taking liberties on the track exit there. I don't know if we'll end up getting any track limits warnings. We've not so far. Is P-Gib going to be close enough for a move on Raffo? Don't think he is. Raffo's going to defend it anyway. P-Gib nice and light on the brakes. Myself and Dixon line astern. Don't bother attacking him there. Then it's Mutt versus Audi Ferry, and Mutt defends that position. Audi Ferry's going to have to try something else. That might let Maniaf up the inside. Maniaf actually might just struggle. He's not going to get that move made, so Maniaf backs out of it. He's just going to sit in 11th behind the Hungarian at the minute. And it's kind of as they were then. As for me and Dixon, we are starting to catch Raffo and P-Gib and everyone else. Slowly but surely. With these two battling, they're dipping into the mid-48s now. Whereas we are doing 47s, so we are reeling them in. McCreado's been comfortably in the 47s most of the race. So is Matt, so is Robus and Fat Kids. So Fat Kids actually sticking in a 46.5 then, fastest lap of the race so far. 45s were possible. I think there was a 45 in either in free practice or in quali, but obviously race pace is a lot slower because you're battling around other cars. In a lot of cases you're tyre saving as well. And just see how much faster Dixon is through that chicane than the rest of us, and I noticed at this point that he's using counter steer assist, so whether that helps I don't know, but he's miles quicker coming out with that chicane than any of us really are. As he goes down the inside of Raffo, and it's sort of like a repeat of the move he made on me. He's going to go a little bit wide, just about manages to save it. And Dixon almost picks up 2 in 1 there. Is Raffo going to fight this out with the apex? I've got a feeling Raffo might just push him here. Raffo, no, he backs out of it. And no one really wanting to go side by side through here though, as Audi Ferry, who has got past Mutt in that lap, does lead this little pack now. Maniaf grazes the wall ever so slightly. It shouldn't dent him too much. He's still got a good slipstream from the car ahead. Does Mutt try and get the Hungarian back now? So the problem is, for whoever's leading this pack, they're just punching a hole in the air for everyone else, because they've dropped back quite a lot from P-Gib, who's had some sort of catastrophic. I don't know what's happened to P-Gib here. So he ended up behind me, so let's just jump on board my car and just see what happened to P-Gib. I can't remember actually. This race, so depending on what order you're watching this in, these are the races from the week before, the ones I've just covered, so I am doing them out of order. Sue me. it's just what I could find. Oh, P-Gib gets on the brakes really early there and then ends up going deep, almost following Dixon, so Dixon made a mistake there as well. So that's how I got past P-Gib. That's also how GT Raffo Dixon ended up in the side by side going up to the curved S's. For the time being, no room at the end for the PlayStation driver. Rafa a lot quicker through that. What I was noticing is I was quite quick through the S's as well, but I was losing time in the slower speed corners. The fast speed corners I was okay, but the slower speed stuff, I really struggle with that. So just poking my nose out there, not really looking for a move on Rafa. Just actually, in fairness, just trying to spot my braking point. I tend to use little off-track references throughout my lap. What's happening here? Audi Ferry starting to just pull away now a little bit. Our Maniaf and Mutt fighting a little bit too much as we've got the first of our pit stoppers in. Robust to Hood peels into the pit, so does Matt Elwood. Fat Kids, McCready, Dixon, Raffo, myself, we all carry on. A little bit early again as I go for the move on Raffo. Yeah, a little bit early maybe to think about a pit stop, but we'll see. We go inside, but this is a good picture opportunity for our team. We're going side by side for the tunnel, but one of us is going to have to back out, and it's me. I back out with that move. Yeah, with it being my teammate, I didn't want to give him too much trouble. We were on comms together. I've driven with Raffo enough that if I felt I was quicker, I could just ask him to let me by, and he would, and vice versa. But for the time being, working just fine with Raffo right in front. It's putting the pressure on Dixon now for that P3 position on the road. Don't forget, we have had some pit stops, but it isn't beyond the realms of possibility for a no stop to work here. You're just going to be really vulnerable late in the race. So it's going to be an issue, and the problem is then, so give you an example, Robust to Hood's pitted from P2, he's in P9 in traffic. Then he's in the middle of traffic that he doesn't need to be in, and obviously he should clear them pretty quickly, but the problem is he's there in the first place. He's come out in the middle of that bottom 4 pack. Matt Elwood's come out right at the back of it. P Gibbs pitted as well, so he's way down the order now. Fat Kids pits on the supers. Does McCready pit? It doesn't look like he is. Then Dixon, does he pit as well? No, he's going to carry on. And then it's myself and Raffo. Again, PlayStation team just working together. So Raffo was doing a fine job at this point in the race just to really chase down Dixon, whose pace had started to drop. So you'll remember at the start of the race he was rapid. Probably pushed too early on his tyres, and at this point in the race it was coming back to me and Raffo, who had been we've been trying to take a little bit more care of the tyres. Fat Kid's then coming up behind me now. He's on the super soft tyres, he's glitchy as anything, but he should be El Rapido now, so he should get up to us pretty quickly. The question mark for Fat Kids is whether McCready pits, but I'll be honest, he had that much of a lead. I think even if McCready doesn't pit, he will probably still get him by the time the race is finished. But McCready then is leading the race at the time being. Dixon is P2 on the road with Raffo in third, myself in P4, and then the first of the pit stoppers in 5th place. Then you got Audi Ferry leading this little contingent. Then it's Audi Ferry, Maniaf, Robustud. Mutt's been the big loser in that one. He's dropped a couple of positions. He's now down in 9th with Matt Elwood chasing him down now. The South African should catch and clear Mutt pretty quickly on a significant tyre advantage. And then Diablo 11th, who hasn't pitted, and P Gibb, who has pitted, in 12th position. So it is, I guess, a question of who else opts to pit. Any later than now, when you're really risking losing a lot of track position, as Dixon indeed peels off into the pits. Myself and Raffo choose at this point. We're going to try the no stop, and we're just going to go for it. We've got track position. As again, I slide up the inside. I think that one was communicated. Raffo waved me through at that point, I think. So we did talk about that one. Fat Kids then clear away at the top. He's trying not to give slipstream to anyone else. He doesn't want to drag any other cars with him. Obviously he's a pit stop down on everybody else, and it's a question of how many other people decide to pit. Maniaf on his worn tyres has set his fastest lap of the race. So the tyres, even at 10 laps old, with a 4 times tyre multiplier, even at this age, these tyres are still offering a little bit of grip. An ability to hang on into the road there. Robust hood should be very fast now. He's gone for softs this time round, so he's had a step down in compound. Obviously felt towards the end of that last stint he was suffering quite a lot, but again he's still in the middle of this pack and struggling to clear them. They're doing 147s, which is pretty respectable on worn tyres. Robust isn't going to be a lot quicker on fresh tyres. And Dixon then, after his pit stop, comes out in P11. But on fresh super soft tyres, we know the pace he's got. He is going to be very fast indeed through the last 10 minutes or so. He's just got to make sure he keeps hold of his tyres. Because if they go, they will go. So who pits from the top then? Let's have another look. So we are 18 minutes in. I'd say it's now too late for a pit stop really, but McCready goes for it. He's going to have the fastest tyres at the end. And then it is going to be myself leading the race, which is something I never thought I'd say after so I won round 1, but I've had a few people promoted into the league, and I have lost my mojo, as Austin Powers once said. So leading the race for now, my teammate Raffo in second behind me, then Fat Kids a couple of seconds behind. Now with 11 minutes remaining of the race, Fat Kids catching us almost an inevitability. Maniaf and Audi Ferry are holding Robust to hood up like an absolute dream. Matt Elwood then is the next threat. So where can the South African get to? Of course, the problem, I guess, Robust and Matt's got is Audi Ferry and Maniaf. I mean, they've just dipped into the 48s, but they're not exactly slow cars. So getting past them is going to be problematic. They're not going to, obviously they're fighting for position as well. As Robust does try to get inside, he's overtaking at the very unusual S's. Fortunately, Audi Ferry was quite compliant to that and didn't put up too much of a fight. And Robust then up to P5. He'll get chasing after Maniaf. And then after that, it's just a case of trying to reel in everyone else. Now for myself and Raffo, yeah, quite nice working together, but no matter how much we work together, holding back Fat Kids on fresh tyres is going to be a problem. Now it's a case of, do you battle for the outright win and potentially lose a lot more time to the cars that are coming up behind Fat Kids? You can see the group just there coming into shot. Or do you let Fat Kids go straight away without a problem and delay fighting the inevitable, and that gives you a little bit more barrier to push away from these lot. As we see P-Gib and Mutt go to work. P-Gib with a nice move down the inside. Is Dixon going to try it as well? Dixon does get his car up there. Mutt of course hasn't pitted, but he has been on a slower tyre pretty much from the start of the race. Dixon has just picked up the fastest lap of the race, and is he going to try and push P-Gib? He's going to try and go side by side. That's never, oh, he just backs out of it at the last minute. Oh, when the car hits the wall, that was Mutt. His race has sort of gone from bad to worse. There was just a little bit of contact then between Dixon and P-Gib at the apex of that, but that was pretty much written Mutt's car off. So McCready then pits from the lead of the race down to P10. He's on the super soft tyres, but he's got a lot of overtaking to do if he wants to make any positions up. Looking a bit further up the field, we've got Robust Hood now trying to get against Maniaf. He's going to try it around the outside. Maniaf does defend that with 9 minutes to go. I kind of expected that to happen. Where does Robust go from here? Maniaf is making sure he's putting his Subaru in the right places at the right time. Just ahead, we've seen Fat Kids is just navigating past Raffo. Well, that would have happened at this very corner, and Robust, yeah, gets his way up the inside then. So he can chase now after Raffo, whose tyres are really starting to look second hand. Mine were bad as well. and I'm giving Fat Kid some slipstream now. So yeah, holding him off for another 8 minutes, I'm only going to give myself a bigger problem at the end of the race. So I'm thinking at this point I might as well let him go. Absolutely no point in holding him up. Was he close enough for a move down here? Nope. I can't remember if he was on chat actually, but I remember at this point actually being quite worried that he might go for a move down into Death Chicane. But unfortunately I don't think he did. I think he went through at the next hairpin. We shall see in a moment. You see the lag. The lag is terrible. Because that's what I was seeing on screen as well. His lag was really bad. Yeah, and there through goes Fat Kids. Not much point in fighting that. So me letting him go, I mean, that has cost me pretty much 0 time. Maybe a tenth or two. I'll use Fat Kids as slipstream for as long as I can possibly keep it. Although I'm on quite worn tyres now, he's on fresh ones. And then start building the gap. Robust to Hoods is now free to chase after us. That he will do. Matt Elwood the next threat. Then we've got Dixon in 8th. Dixon's always going to be a problem. I mean, he's reeling those guys in very, very fast now. Limited time, of course, for the pole-sitting Hungarian to do too much to get up near the podium, but he's certainly going very, very fast. P-Gib at 9th for the Gibbo at the moment, with McCready in 10th after his pit stop. Mutt in 11th, hasn't stopped yet. About the only car that hasn't stopped. Maybe, yeah, there's a couple of cars that haven't stopped. Actually, thinking about it, oh, there's one of them that doesn't stop, goes distinctly off the track. Let's Matt Elwood back past. Is Matt going to go for a move here on Audi Ferry? He's certainly going to have the better brakes, and he does indeed. Goes a little bit deep as a result though. Audi Ferry's going to get the cut back on him. And Matt's going to just have to be a little bit more patient in getting this one done. Probably wait for the hairpin. Because with 5 minutes left, now's the time when even if you're on worn tyres, you're sort of thinking to yourself, I might be able to just defend this. There might be something I can do to give myself a better chance. That being said, Dragon Trail presents a lot of overtaking opportunities. It's not like Monaco, where you can't get past. You can overtake here at Dragon Trail, and as you've seen throughout the race, that was happening quite a lot. Various points in the circuit then, as we now see Raffo coming under pressure from Robestud. Well, I say under pressure, he's getting increasingly chased down by Robestud. Audi for the Audi Ferry roadblock then, starting just to whir away ever so slightly, and just allowing Matt Elwood in. Is Matt going to go for that move down to the left hand? He's not for the time being. I think he's going to try and set this up for turn 1. If he gets a good exit out of the chicane, that's what he needs to focus on right now. Good exit out of the chicane. We see Robust to Hood. Look at GT Raffo. Some good exit out of the chicane, as we were saying. He does, yeah, that's exactly the body language under that car, Matt Elwood. He just wanted immediately to get straight past the quick fit car and straight into the slipstream of another car. That's exactly what he's got right now. It's a good opportunity for Matt Elwood to get 2 in 1. He's going to have to go to the outside. He's going to have to do this a hard way on the brake stand as he gets past Raffo. He's going to brake a little bit later than I was going to say he was going to brake a little bit later than Audi Ferry, but Audi Ferry, even on knackered tyres, did a very good job there. But Matt Elwood just able, with the extra traction, those fresher tyres provided, just able to get the move made on the exit of the corner then. So top 4 cars now contain 3 cars that have made a pit stop, and then me that hasn't made a pit stop. So I'm trying now to cling onto these tyres. I'm really starting to lose their traction. I'm into the 149s, so 2 and a bit seconds off my normal race pace. A lap with cars behind doing 48s. One of those cars was in traffic. Raffo then now starting to come under pressure from Dixon. Dixon does get himself ahead. So Dixon now on a complete charge. Will his Hungarian mate up ahead give him any problems in overtaking? I should imagine he won't. And then it's whether Dixon can start putting any pressure on the other guys that have pitted, because now he's cleared a lot of the guys that have no stopped. Is he going to be able to do anything about the cars that have made a pit stop? And that's a different challenge altogether. In theory, he's lapping faster than they are, but they're going to be a whole different prospect to overtake. Checking in on Fat Kids, starts lap number 16 in the lead of the race, followed by myself a couple of seconds back. You kind of felt this pace. Fat Kids wasn't pulling away massively. I could still see him, but now as Matt Elwood actually gets himself into P3, what happened here? Oh, just a nice little overtake down into turn 1. Wheelbase did go for the defensive line, but went a little bit deep on the brakes, and Matt Elwood just able to slide his Subaru on the inside. Up into P3 he goes. Right, 2 and a bit minutes remain. This might be another 2 laps though. Can I hold on for 2 laps with these guys bearing down on me? Dixon then is past Audi Ferry, so yeah, that was a very compliant move, I think. Raffo fighting away with P. Gibb. We have been racing for 27 minutes, 28 minutes actually, and this is how close some of the racing actually is. We've still got overtakes galore happening. There's P. Gibb up the inside of Raffo. You got Maniaf 9th with McCready in 10th. Mutt 11th and Diablo in 12th. Will McCready be sat there thinking I shouldn't have pitted? Are we looking at where my car is? As a Fat Kid kicks up a load of dust. Yeah, we're looking at where my car is, thinking he could have been around this place. He was ahead of me before he pitted, and he's in 10th at the moment. So again, that means it all comes down to tyre management. I struggle with tyre management at the moment because I'm still getting used to a brake pedal. So I do take a little bit more energy out my tyres under braking than normal. Dixon is the unknown quantity for me. He's on the back of Robus and Matt now. He's not close enough at this stage now. He's nowhere near an overtake at the minute. One more lap. This is the last lap, I think. Yep, this is going to be the last lap. 29 minutes gone. This is going to be it. Can Matt Elwood? I'd like to say the fact that Robus is with him is probably slowing him down a little bit, but it probably isn't, in all fairness. Robus has got other problems at the minute, which is Dixon right behind him. Robus is going to have to think about defending this move, which he does, and you can see the gap there now between Matt Elwood and me. There's 4 cars in contention for P2. P1 has buggered off completely. I'm just about managing to survive. Let's have a look through the S's. Just how much closer Matt Elwood gets to me through here, where your tyre grip is kind of everything. And I was good through this section as well. I was a lot quicker through here than a lot of other cars were. Matt Elwood gets very close to me then, just through 3 corners. Just about 3 or 4 corners remain as Dixon goes for the move then on Robus. Let's jump on board, have a look. So Robus did go for the move. Dixon kept it left. Bit of contact to the apex, you don't like to see it. Does Robus continue ahead? Dixon's not letting him continue ahead. I think Robus has just got a better traction out. Matt Elwood then versus me. It's going to be a drag to the line then. This is going to be pretty much side by side as Fat Kids wins the race. Sorry Fat Kids, but dominant performance, my friend. And then it's myself, Matt Elwood, 2nd and 3rd respectively. Robus just finishes ahead of Dixon for 4th. P-Gib finishes ahead of Audi Ferry, does he? Let's have a look. Does he get the drive on him? Has P-Gib judged that to absolute perfection? He has as well. Look at that. I'm going to have a look at that later. Macreeda P8 from Macreeda. Raffo 9th. Maniaf in 10th place with Mutt in 11th and Diablo in 12th. I just want to go back and have a look at... this. This had to be as close as you like. So let's just... So there's the line, yeah? What's the distance? There is none. There literally is no... There's no time. There's no time. Just get fancy another frame. No, there's no time. That's it. They literally cross the line side by side, I think, pretty much. Does it give me anything now they've crossed the line? Zero. Oh yeah, like 1/10 or 1/100th of a second between P-Gib and Audi Ferry. So yeah, good strategy there by P-Gib to get the maximum slipstream. We'll cover Seaside in the next video. Thanks for watching this one. Apologies are all out of order. But yeah, it's just that I didn't save the replay and had to get it shared by someone else. So thanks, Raffo. Hope you've enjoyed. Thank you.